We have a huge problem. You see, this tank is actually split into two. And somehow this single fish Hank managed to jump to the other side. Now, the reason this is split into two is because the front half is designed for fish and fish only. And the back half is for an experiment where we put a sword underwater for 100 days. And the problem is that these swords could potentially be leaking nasty, lethal toxins into the water. So today's mission is to save Hank. I have no clue how he made it over here. My only theory is that he somehow jumped out this and into here. So we're gonna have to take this off. I'm gonna see if I can scoop him with my tiny net. This is gonna be so hard because there's no room back here. Now, if you don't know, Hank is a schooling fish, so being separated from his friends actually sucks. But that's okay, because you could help save Hank by subscribing. I was so close. Come on, Hank. Come on, Hank. No way, I got him! I got Hank, and now all we have to do is free him from this nasty, toxic water. And just like that, Hank was finally safe and back with his family.
Kelly, what is the rarest sword in the Mini Katana house?
It's not this $5 Walmart machete. Let's go find it.
Oh my goodness!
Where's it?
Is it in the washing machine?
You fool! It's in the fridge.
What?
Must keep it refrigerated because I say so. This might look like a normal gold katana, but it is not. Because this is not only the sharpest sword in the house, it is also double-sided. That means the back of this katana is also sharp. I could slice you like this and like this. What is this, a longsword katana? Woo!
Tyler, what is the rarest sword in the Mini Katana house?
Dude, I got you. This sword is one of one.
Whoa! Monkey down! This poor man, what'd you do to him? What's bro doing?
All right, it's one of these swords. Ooh, this one is special, but it's not for the right reasons. All right, it's gotta be this one then, the one-of-a-kind B-movie script blade. I mean, every single word of the B-movie script is on this sword, and only one of them exists on the planet.
This man has gone viral on the internet, and today he's agreed to train me how to use his giant sword. My objective, to recreate this viral video and be the second most shredded samurai on the planet.
It took me years of lifting to get good at this, but you're gonna get it today.
Dude, this might be impossible.
Oh my gosh, this is way heavier than I thought.
Just let the weight do its thing. So it's really just two things. Let the sword fall, pull up and over. Let's try it out.
Sean said I was ready, so this is my attempt.
Tyler, what would you use to defend yourself against a rogue band of samurai? But it can't be a sword.
I know just the thing. Let me find it.
Where? Where's it?
Under there. Oh, I see it. It's right over here.
What? That's a sword, though.
False. You want me to prove it to you? Unsheath.
Let's see it. Ooh, what a weird saya. Bro got the extendo saya.
This is the best defense weapon of all time.
Unbelievable. Can it block a sword, though?
Dude, no problem. Anything.
Kelly, I have a question. If there was a rogue band of samurai, what would you use to defend yourself against it? But it can't be a sword.
Actually, I got it.
I choose Tyler.
What? What do you mean?
Because while the samurai are busy battling Tyler, I'll be...
Bro is gone.
Kelly, what is the sharpest object in this house?
I sharpened the sword literally like 2 weeks ago. Check. Not only is this the sharpest sword in the house, it is literally double-sided. Sharp side, literally deadliest thing in the house.
Peter, what's the sharpest object in this house?
That's not a knife. Now that's a knife. This thing is so stupid sharp. It's actually ridiculous.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that.
Let's battle! But for reference, we're gonna test a razor blade.
Size does matter.
Size does matter? Prove it.
I'll prove it. Watch this right here. Ready? Beat it! You cannot beat it!
Oh, what a bet?
Wow.
Doink! This is what it looks like to return 100,000 pennies. We originally got all these pennies to build this sword out of pennies, but then the sword maker told us that we couldn't use any of them because they had to be from like World War I or II or one of the wars. But either way, none of these pennies worked and now we have to go return them. So we're about to go to Walmart and we don't know if we're gonna break their machine or not. So hopefully we can return all these. Otherwise, we're giving away a penny for every single subscriber we get. Lightweight! That lowered my car by 3 inches. So we just arrived at Walmart and now we're at Walmart. What if I drop it in the parking lot? That took a full hour. And before I tell you how much money we made, check out this full video to see why we had all these pennies in the first place. Now, the final total was $200.11.
Is a hatchet actually better than a longsword? And I'm not talking about for chopping wood or slaying dragons or anything like that. No, today I'm going to be testing both of these fellas out on a tatami mat. These mats are built for sword quality testing, and I've sliced a lot of them with swords, but never with a hatchet. And I have one pretty big concern. See, hatchets are not built for this kind of activity. They have a much thicker blade so that the blade doesn't shatter every time it hits, I don't know, a chunk of wood or a zombie skull. The longsword, though, I'm not too worried about. I think it's just gonna pierce through like the mat isn't even there. See, the blade is maybe 1/8 the thickness of this, but I'm not actually sure. Let's try it out. See, that was about as easy as I expected it was gonna be. It's a sword, makes sense, kind of built for that. But the hatchet, let's try. It didn't cut through enough.
You should never sharpen a dull sword until you watch this video, unless you don't want your arms, because dull swords have one specific design flaw that makes them extremely dangerous for slicing. It can cause your sword to snap, potentially hitting you in the process. So if you want to be able to open the fridge or search online for Japanese swords, listen up. Real swords are made of strong steel, which goes all the way through the blade and the handle. However, dull swords do not have this feature, and instead have what is called a rat tang. This could easily snap off and send your blade flying. So shake your friend's sword, send them this video, and
it's crazy that 31 people eat this candy every second, but it was actually created on accident. It's hard to believe this failed product became Japan's #1 chewy candy. Because it's considered rude to take food out of your mouth in Japanese culture, Haichu was designed as an upgraded version of gum, one that could be chewed and swallowed. So it blew up in popularity, but I'm gonna upgrade it even further by freeze drying it to remove the chew and go pure crunch.
Here are my top 3 favorite Demon Slayer facts. Number 3, there are only 2 Hashira who use dual blades, and both of them are unbelievably loud.
Can you guess who they are?
Number 2, Inosuke is disliked by the people that make Demon Slayer equipment. Every time he gets a new sword, he chips it to give it a serrated edge. And every time he gets new clothes, he immediately tears them to shreds. Look who wants to be the monkey man. Last and certainly not least, number 1, Tanjiro has a bunch of pen pals. His pen pals include Sakonji, Senjiro, the courtesans from the entertainment district, Gyu, who never writes back, and of course, Tengen.
is it possible to slice a single drop of water with a sword? Using this hydrophobic katana, we are going to wait for a single drop to fall, and then I'm gonna slice it. Of course, I've sliced a lot of things in the past, but this is easily the most difficult slice I have ever attempted. And I'm not just gonna smack it with the blade or wait for it to drop and hit the sword, because that would be lame. I'm going to actually slice this droplet in half, into 2 pieces as it falls. I mean, the size of this droplet is the same size as the blade itself, so this might be impossible. And after endless slicing and swinging, I channeled my inner anime hero, and just a few attempts later, this happened. Can Freddy Krueger's Nightmare Glove actually slice in real life? I have a cucumber ready to get diced and a Freddy Krueger glove that I sharpened. But this glove has one major design flaw, because every finger takes the full force of the slice. And I'm not sure how strong Freddy's fingers are, but mine might get ripped off. So before I sacrificed my whole hand, I tried it with a single finger. And it was so easy, but using the whole hand means 4 times the blades. That means I have to put 4 knives through at once. But let's see if I can get a 4 slice with a single slap. Okay, if I break my fingers, you have to subscribe. 3, 2, 1.
What?
The fish will die if you add them to that aquarium. And you are absolutely right, is what I would say if I were stupid, but I'm not. Because you see, the tank that the fish will be going in is actually separate from the sword tank, because it's divided by a thin layer of glass in the middle. They also have their own separate filters and heater, so everything is separate. And the fishies have no risk of being poisoned by our crusty, rusty sword water. And hey, before we add the fish, here's a 20-day update on the sword. So overall, we have some algae growth, so I made the lights a bit dimmer to help slow this down. There are also some diatoms at the bottom, but that should calm down as the tank ages and matures. We also had a bacteria bloom on day 2 and 3, so everything is fully cycled and our water parameters are looking great. And crazy enough, our Phoenix Saya split in half. I'm guessing the water got into the wood, causing it to expand and catastrophically implode. And our hydrophobic katana actually seems to have some small rust spots, while our painted katana is almost pristine, just like this tank, after we add our fish. So now we know.
Did you you know that you're not safe inside your own home? Did you know that I'm outside your window? I'm on a mission to slice a house in half, and today we're gonna see if a katana can slice through glass. Almost every room in your house has a window, and if I was hypothetically approaching your home at a rapid pace, you would want those windows to protect you. After all, we've sliced some odd things before, like bricks, drywall, large bones, and meats of unknown origin. Of course, none of them stood a chance, so surely the glass shouldn't stand a chance, right? Well, let's find out what would happen if a katana met a pane of glass.
3, 2, 1.
If Inosuke was raised by boars, then how did he learn to speak? After Mama Boar passed away, Inosuke journeyed far and wide until he came across a nice old man who treated Inosuke like a human despite his animalistic traits. He fed Inosuke, read to him, and even taught Inosuke his own name that was attached to his diaper. But this is not the man who taught Inosuke how to speak. This old man had a grandson named Takaharu who constantly berated the old man and Inosuke until Inosuke got tired and kicked Takaharu in the face while mispronouncing his name. So if Inosuke can talk, can you?
Did you know it is illegal for samurai to walk on the right side of the street? This law was created for one very specific reason. Since all samurai were right-handed, they wore their katanas on their left waist. However, when samurai walked down the narrow streets of Japan, they would sometimes bump their swords together, making a loud and embarrassing noise, one that would certainly cause a street fight between the two. And after so many fights broke out, Japan decided to make walking on the wrong side of the street illegal, a law that continues today on the streets of Japan.
Garrett, if Luffy was a sword, which one would it be?
More like Goofy. Follow me.
Oh, dude is double cheeked up.
This is literally Luffy's arm. You can't tell me that this little swirly swoop thing right there is not Luffy.
Tyler, if Goku was a sword, what sword would he be?
Let's go.
With me. Which one should it be?
One of these bad boys. It's this one right here.
The reason this is Goku's sword is because this is not its final form.
Oh, word? What's his final form? I gave my friends $7, and today we're gonna see who can bring me the best katana tart.
What? $10?
It's not $7.
$8. Come on. Why can't it be $7? Bicycle. $10. Why can't we have a budget of $10?
It's not $7.
Why?
Slice the children.
Oh, this is absolutely the Tatami Mat Smasher. This is kind of disgusting. I'm about to bust. Absolutely no way. These bad boys are gonna assist in slicing.
Oh, it's $8. Oh, you know what? We're gonna bargain. We're gonna haggle them back.
All right, we have our items, and now it's time to see which of them is the worst at slicing. Starting off with Garrett.
So I chose this base. I slice it. It's gonna make the most satisfying crumble ever.
All right, let's move to the next item.
Like, this thing was designed to get hit by bowling balls thousands of times, but I'm gonna break that possibility.
Wow, that was garbage. Anyways, Tyler, get on in here.
Plastic should be even easier.
These katana tricks stole my lunch. How is she moving it that fast? Oh my goodness.
This one though is stupid.
Does he actually have lightning powers?
That car in the background almost gets absolutely murdered.
It like lights up the ground when he passes.
Right, dude? We filmed with Fiction before. He's actually such a nice dude.
They are battling under a volcano right now. I can't believe the cameraman's getting this close.
Cameraman ended the shoot with 0 frames.
I didn't even see the first two moves.
Broke ankle and broke forearm.
I don't know what demon she's fighting, but she's winning. Oh God, we're next. Is it even possible to slice a tatami mat straight down the middle? When you prepare to slice a tatami mat, you raise the sword over your head, then bring it to an angle so that you can slice diagonally across the mat. What I'm trying to do here is raise the sword up and then bring it straight down in a perfect line. The precision that this is going to take is insane. When you slice at an angle, you can hit anywhere along the length of the mat and it will fully cut through. I only have a couple of inches of surface that I'll have to hit perfectly in order to slice this mat in half. Not only that, but I'll have to maintain perfect alignment all the way down the mat. Otherwise, the blade will hit a tatami fiber and just glance off. Here's what it looks like to slice the mat normally. The cleanest shot I've ever got. And now to answer the question, can I actually do it? If I can do this, you have to subscribe.
Whoa! How many ribs can a sword slice through? 1. 5 ribs. Oh, there's a ton of ants on it. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness, that was so clean. I mean, you can count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonzo, boy. Oh yeah, let's do it. 24 ribs.
If that works with water.
What? What?
itty bitty, small, tiny, little, average.
I am not a fan of receiving so much energy into one little bit of steel. I kind of have a bit of a hold on this katana by twisting the shuko, but I got a better chance of losing my fingers or cutting into the palm of my hand. Of course, if there's no other option, I got really surprised upon. Great response, but a little bit better if I can be patient and wait for them to truly think they're about to cut me in half. I can just step off to the side, lock up their blade, the sharp bit's pointed down, and I've got 45 degrees into my opponent. So since it's locked, I can pull them forward and move, smash down on their hands, deliver a front kick to their body. Now I've disarmed their sword, now hold two weapons.
We went to the thrift store to see if we could find an actual katana, and these were the results.
After you, gentlemen. Give me that right here. Absolutely. Very simple stuff. I literally found knives. This is fantastic. What am I doing? Wait, what is this? Okay. Oh, this is absolutely the Tatami Master Master.
All right, so we have our swords, and now it's time to see how well they can actually slide. Let's start off with the world's sharpest pie cutter. What? Next we have this knife kit, and I'm actually gonna see if all 5 can slice. Now this is the smallest knife in the kit. I have no idea if it's actually gonna be able to slice all the way through. I mean, like, there's nothing even there. You guys requested it, and now we have it. Jetstream Sam's Murasama.
How tall would the Titans be in real life? Although they're all big, only one can be the biggest, so let's see how they compare. Peak's Cart Titan is the smallest of the intelligent Titans, at only 4 meters high. That's roughly 70 inches tall, or also 2.5 of Paul Rudd's. Galliard and Falco's Jaw Titans are only 5 meters tall, or 16.4 feet, which is a little under the height of your average giraffe. Annie's female Titan stands at 14 meters tall, or roughly 46 feet, or about 106 iPhone 13s stacked precariously on top of one another. Lastly, we have Aaron's demonic Founding Titan. While its size hasn't been confirmed exactly, it's estimated to be around 350 meters tall, or 1,148 feet. That's the size of 7 Olympic-sized swimming pools, or 405 regular kiddie-sized pools. Maybe one day his Founding Titan will have a pool big enough for him to fit in. Oh wait, that's the... Have you ever wondered what the inside of your saya looks like? Well, we were curious too, so we cut one in half. But first, how are they even made? Like, what kind of crazy machine can carve an empty tunnel of curved wood? Well, using a specifically designed chisel called the Sayanomi, they are actually made in 2 different halves and then glued together. So, chopping ours in half will let us see exactly what mysterious things are hidden inside our sheaths. To our surprise, it was just Yamato.
The blades in Attack on Titan have one fatal flaw, and here's why. We see the blades shatter constantly in the show, especially when they come into contact with the hardened skin of a Titan. Given that we know that the blades are made of something that the wiki deems ultra-hard steel, we can assume that the blades are made entirely of steel that has a high concentration of carbon. Perhaps too high. High concentrations of carbon make steel incredibly hard, but inflexible and brittle. Katanas typically have this kind of high concentration steel only on the edge of the blade so that it stays sharp. The spine, however, has a lower concentration of carbon, which makes it softer and more able to handle intense impact. Strange, considering Attack on Titan seems to know a thing or two about soft spine.
Peter, I will give you this 20-pound foil ball if you can slice this 3-pound foil ball with one of our fantasy series swords. Oh, you gotta choose your sword. Which one?
Oh, sick! And they just got restocked. Oh, God. They all look sick. What? That's nuts. Okay, I'll get this one at the bottom. It's at the bottom for short kings like me.
Oh, what's that dirty boy called?
Look at the handle. It's obvious. Crimson Dragon.
Oh, the Crimson Dragon.
Look at this. Ooh! Let's do this. Give me the ball.
Oh. If I spear this in the ground, you only have 30 seconds left to do this. Oh, ready? Ah! Yeah! Let's go! Go! You can do this! Come on! You have 25 seconds left. Come on! Go! You got like 15 seconds. Oh, you missed? What are you? Ah!
How much bone can a katana slice through? That's right, I've acquired Henry, this absolutely massive jambone, and today we're gonna see if we can actually slice through it. Now, in the past, we sliced through turkey legs and even ribs with no problem. But I honestly have no idea what will happen when we try to slice through this goofy Stegosaurus toe bone. The sword may bounce off and shatter, or maybe even get stuck, or even worse, the bone could go rogue and unsubscribe. And we can't let that happen. We must defeat it before bad things begin. So here we go with the Mini Katana Red Fury Rogue Bone Destroyer. 3, 2, 1!
I'm on a mission to slice a house in half, and we've already determined that with enough force you can cut through brick. But what happens when all of the brick is gone? Well, the walls of the house aren't gone yet. There's still something in the way. Drywall is made of calcium sulfate dihydrate, otherwise known as gypsum, and is usually set between two thick sheets called backer and facer paper. What this means is that I'm going to have to slice through two thick sheets of paper and compressed plaster to get anywhere near slicing this in half. So we set to work drilling this sheet of drywall and clamping it between a piece of wood and the skeleton of a guillotine. But once we finally had it mounted, and now we know.
What happens when you slice a light bulb with a steel sword? We have a 120 watt light bulb powered on, and this is going to be dangerous. So I'm gonna try and not get electrocuted using these flashy tin-good swords. But to see if this is even possible, I'm gonna try slicing a glass mirror. Oh, I mean, not a problem at all. Now, do not do this at home, as glass and electricity flying around a metal sword is not a good idea. But what will that voltage do to my swords, or worse, my body? Well, let's glove up and give it a go. Ooh, that was jolting. I never expected.
Why can't I have a double-sided katana? Oh wait, I can. And it's actually pretty simple. Just remove the handle from the two blades, ransack my bucket of bolts, and screw these bad boys together. And oh man, this is sick! But I can't decide if I should have the blades like this or like this. And also, should I take this bad boy a whole step further? Get it welded together, then make a custom handle and cut tatami mats? Oh man, now I can no longer say.
What's the most ruined sword in the office?
I'm looking at it. You have to finish your sentence. Where is the sword? What is this junk?
How did it get ruined?
Buy another sword. Do you want to see what the other sword looks like? I mean, that thing is dented. What does the blade look like? Oh, it's a rated katana. Ooh.
Peter, what's the most ruined sword in the office?
Easily. I think that's poison damage, okay? This will put you in the hospital. They used this thing in World War II. This thing is more lethal than mustard gas. If you touch it. When you're holding a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. Well, I'm holding a katana. Here are the top 3 things to cut first with your katana. Number 3, water jugs. The reason these are so high up on the list is because they just make such a satisfying explosion. Plus, they come with a built-in straw. Number 2, water bottles. You can use water bottles to train your alignment of the blade. Because of the surface tension of the bottle, if you don't have your edge alignment just right, your katana will bounce right off. Number 1, fruit. The obvious first choice. But there's a twist. Aside from it just being incredibly fun to be a fruit ninja, you can train your precision by going from watermelons to squash to apples to grapes. Well, it's a little bit beyond my abilities, but you might have more luck than me.
Cut the slime before it touches the ground challenge. Tyler and I challenged each other to see who could cut the slime with a sword first before it touches the ground. This is actually really hard because it's impossible to predict how fast the slime will fall. At first, we were both failing miserably, but then we got closer and closer to success. And Tyler almost had me on this one, but he was just too slow. And just as I thought I won, my cutting skills failed me. And Tyler slammed me with that double whammy slammy slammy slice.
Excuse me, I have a challenge for you, and if you succeed, I'm going to give you my shirt.
Ooh, yeah, what's the challenge?
All right, I'll tell you the challenge only if you're subscribed to Mini Katana.
I'm subscribed, let's do it.
All right, pull up your phone and let me see it.
Yeah, I cracked my phone a lot because of the sword, but I'm subscribed.
All right, so you're famous on the internet for swinging around that massive sword, but today we'll see if you can actually slice this apple with this miniature katana.
I don't know, that's a really tough looking apple. Oh, it's so cool.
All right, go for it.
Oh! One problem though, I don't wear shirts.
Top 3 slow-mo slices. Number 3, slicing anything with the open eye is fun, but it's even more fun when the slices are back to back. Look how easily it glides through both times. Number 2 has gotta be the water slice. We didn't know how to get a stick of water to slice, so we had to get a little creative. But I think the results speak for themselves because look how cleanly he slices through it. And number 1 has easily gotta be the goofy katana.
So I bought the cheapest sword on the internet, and I'm gonna see if it can actually slice. Obviously, when I opened the box, this sword was straight, but it's made of such a weak metal, I actually ended up bending it. You see, swords that are meant for slicing should be made of carbon steel and should be full tang. And I know this sword is not made of carbon steel, and it's probably not even full tang. So I don't know why they're selling this dangerous sharp sword on the internet, but it needs to get taken down because this could hurt some people. And it might actually hurt me because I'm gonna try slicing this ham with this weird bent sword. And this might go really badly. Before I slice this ham, comment below what sword I should use tomorrow. Right, I got some protection, and I'm gonna see if this can actually slice. I'm scared. 3, 2, 1. I
I hated that. What would happen if the roles were reversed and we hit a katana with a tatami mat? But first, a disclaimer. The stunt you're about to see is pretty dangerous, so even though you probably shouldn't do this at home, you can still subscribe to see more of these. I had to do a couple of regular tatami mat slices first to warm up, and here's what it looks like when the blade hits the mat. It just glides right through. Now let's see what it would look like to slice a katana with a tatami mat.
That was so easy!
Here are the top 3 reasons a katana is the perfect weapon for a zombie apocalypse. Number 3, low volume. Unlike firearms, katanas make almost no sounds when they're used, which could be an advantage in situations where noise could attract more zombies. Number 2, low maintenance. Compared to firearms, katanas need relatively little maintenance. And, more importantly, they don't require ammo, which is handy when you realize all of the ammo factories have shut down. And finally, number 1, looters will be everywhere. And what better way to dissuade them from stealing than with a katana?
Pro tip, best place to hide money? Now the only people who can steal from you are people with taste.
Can our sharp Obanai Nichirin actually slice? I have a martial arts tatami mat used for sword quality testing for hundreds of years, and we're gonna test the quality of this crazy sword. I mean, I've never seen a sword like this, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Now, since both sides of this blade are sharp, we tried some back and forth action against this milk with incredible results, but this mat is much more difficult to slice, having the same resistance as a human arm. And a normal katana can slice right through, but this is no normal katana. But let's give it an attempt. What? I'm shocked that it actually made it through.
Are your doors locked? Have you checked? Well, I have. In my mission to slice a house in half, I've sliced brick, drywall, and glass, but I've forgotten to slice one of the most important aspects of a house. You see, a house is just a big box without a door, and today we're gonna see if a door can protect you from my grubby little hand. To do this, I went to Lowe's and picked up a door for $60. So I asked the workers what the most destroyable door was, and they gave me this big boy, so we're gonna see if that actually works. At first, I tried to mount it to this tatami stand, but I was quickly made aware that that wasn't going to work. So I took a different method. I set up this stand and clamped the door to it. And after you subscribed, it was finally good to go. Now I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to slice this all the way through, but for your hamster's sake, let's hope that I can.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, first try! Kelly, could you trade me something bigger or better for this pocket?
Okay. Here you go.
Hey Tyler, could you trade me something bigger or better than this caster? Oh, that's huge. Could you trade me something bigger or better for this gimbal? I can take that. Yeah, that is bigger. Could you trade me something bigger or better than this?
That escalated quickly.
That is bigger and better. Can you trade me something bigger or better than this?
Your new car!
My new car! Could you trade me something bigger or better?
Better than a new car? Easy.
Uh-oh, there he goes.
You don't need this junk because inside this box, one of only 7 in the world, is our $100 million invisible katana.
No shot, are you serious? Wait. Oh, it's real!
Can I trade my car for that?
Can Tanjiro's sword actually be used like a spear, just as it was in the fight against Akaza? I'll be attempting to take out this can of specially formulated whipped cream by using Tanjiro's samurai sword like a spear. And I quickly learned that throwing it like an axe is not the way to go, as it's quite inconsistent and also destructive. And while throwing it like Tanjiro did by the handle works better, it's still not fantastic. Instead, throwing it by its balancing point results in a much more controlled and accurate throw. And after countless failed attempts over and over and over, this happened. That worked incredibly! Wow!
My glasses fell off my head, and I can't see my new sword without my glasses. So I picked up my glasses and put them on so that I could see again to find my glasses. But for some reason now I can't seem to find my glasses. Where did they go? They seem to have just disappeared. So I blindly walked with my new medieval sword to get my spare glasses from inside my car. But my new sword doesn't even fit through my front door. So I had to blindly climb out the window to get my ladder so that I could climb out my window with my new sword. But when I got to my car, I realized my glasses were locked inside with my car keys. So I reached inside my car so I could grab my glasses and use them to break into my car and grab my keys so that I could unlock my car and grab my glasses. And now that I have my glasses, I can finally go back inside and look at my new medieval sword. But on my way back inside,
I'm going to engrave the entire B-movie script onto one of our swords using this $100,000 laser engraver and my half IQ. So first I had to select a sword, and we have thousands of swords in our warehouse.
Why are there so many swords?
But which will be the best for our B-movie script? Well, let me see, I think the bigger the better, so I'm gonna use our Yori. So let's get this bad boy out of the box and into the engraving station. But first, let's do a test run to see just how small we can get these letters, and make sure this will even be possible. So I grabbed one of the swords that UPS ran over and gave this bad boy a test run. Bro, it's working! So I loaded up the Yoryu, and if this works, I'm gonna send this sword to one of our subscribers. And an entire day later, we had covered the entire blade in scripture. We still had a lot of words in the script to go. So we expanded our horizons to cover every inch of this sword. And with Barry B watching over us, we assembled our final masterpiece. So subscribe if you want this sword.
It's a great video, you should check it out. I'll wait.